So what's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD and welcome back to another Black Ops 4 Zombie storyline goodness video, where today we're talking about some amazing finds which are within the map classified. Now, I did have a video prepared talking about these topics about a week or so ago, but I didn't find a good time to upload them, but I thought now would be more the better time than ever to just simply talk with you guys about what exactly this information is and then show you how you can get it in your game. So you've seen the title, and yes, classified contains some incredible story information, which is incredibly exciting for the future of the Ether storyline, and I can't wait to see if Treyarch take the Ultimis crew into a big way for the future of the story. Let me know how many of you guys down below in the comment section have been waiting since the ending of Moon to finally have an explanation of what happened to those characters. If you're one of those people, please let me know if you're an OG down below in the comment section. Doesn't matter if you're not, but it just goes to show that there is other people out there besides me that have waited 7 years for an explanation, and Jason has finally given us one. So I'm about to blow your mind right here and explain what happened to the Ultimis crew after the events of Moon, because revealed in a series of punch card radios on Classified, we now learn that the 4 characters, the original Black Ops 1 characters we play as on the map Moon, after the events of Moon years later, arrived back in Groom Lake, Area 51, via a teleporter. Now, Cornelius Purnell, one of the workers working at Groom Lake and the Pentagon, along with Dr. Schuster performing tests, they realized that there was an unexpected arrival through the teleporter, and they were unable to verify what year the crew came from, but their struggle with temporal anomalies during teleportation was documented, but they came from the Moon. Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey were all in a delusional near catatonic state. Medical evaluation showed that they suffered from excessive element 115 exposure, and quoting the medic, they're not even sure how they're all still alive. But as for Dr. Richtofen, initially they believed him to be dead on arrival, but upon closer examination, discovered his body is very much alive, just zero brain activity. They had no idea how these guys came from the Moon. For the immediate future, they'll be kept at Groom Lake for additional 115 testings. So just to be clear, the crew we're playing as inside of Classified is a different version of the Ultimis crew that are being spoken about here, that after the events of Moon years later, were teleported back to Groom Lake and have suffered major medical conditions. The fact that they're in a near catatonic state, and Richtofen is pretty much brain dead, but there's more. 2 months later, whilst keeping an eye on the new test subjects in Hangar 4 of Groom Lake, they noticed a bright blue oval-shaped light beam materializing in the room, which is a teleporter, and out of said light beam there was a zombie dressed in a World War II German military uniform. Zombie did not interact with Private Gordon, but instead slowly walked up to the body of Dr. Edward Richtofen, touched the body of Richtofen, at which point the zombie turned to ash, and Richtofen immediately let out a guttural shriek and began cackling. And at that point, Richtofen is very much alive and very animated, so much so they had to keep him sedated. So all 4 of the characters from Moon have actually survived the events of Moon. And Zombie Richtofen, after the endgame of Buried, came to resuscitate the original Ultimis Richtofen, and that Zombie Richtofen is now turned to ash. So we have a fully functional original Ultimis crew set and ready to go. But it sounds like Ultimis Dempsey from Post Moon wants revenge on Richtofen, and you can get these quotes to play by throwing grenades near Hangar 4 in Groom Lake.
Know what we did? We told them, don't believe us. They won't listen. We blew it up. Whole damn planet. Blew up the whole thing. She warned us. Got voices in his head. He used us. He used all of us. Stupid sauerkraut. Not finished. Gotta break free. Gotta get out of here. Fucks it all up. We can still fix it.
So what's insane is that they realized finally, after the entire events that led up to the ending of Moon, that they have been used by Richtofen the entire time just for him to try and gain ultimate power and complete his grand scheme. Even after the many years that have passed since Moon, he realizes that they really messed things up for good, and that he realizes, even his sedated state, that he's got to break free from this hangar, and that he knows that there's still a way to fix what they've done thanks to Richtofen. If you're confused how these characters are here and that the Earth is completely fine and not blown up, essentially this has all happened in the original timeline, but Classified takes place in an alternate timeline because our characters don't end up on the moon because they overload the teleporter with the shrink ray and end up in the Pentagon before the events of 5. So we're playing as the Ultimis crew, but yet there is the actual post-moon Ultimis crew hanging in Hangar 4 as sedated 115 test subjects. I, for one, am personally so goddamn happy that Treyarch are continuing on this original story after so many years of waiting, and I'm glad that it's all being tied up and actually makes sense. And the explanation of them coming back from the moon is probably the only plausible explanation that anyone could think of, and it's another time where we hear about this zombified Richtofen, although now it sounds like he's gone for good as he has crumbled into ash. I'm going to end this video now by giving you a tutorial on how you can get all of these quotes inside your game, which involves the punch cards. I had a tutorial specifically made on just the punch cards alone and their quotes, but I thought it would be better to dive into some of the other quotes available on the map and then show you guys the punch cards. So if you're running around inside of Classified and you're seeing these and picking them up and you have no idea what this does, well, now you know, and I'll give you an in-depth tutorial on exactly how it works and how you can get all these messages, and also by letting you just hear all these amazing quotes and storyline of the original story. So to start this Easter egg, you need to go in the weapon testing room, and in this cupboard you're going to see this little cheeky piece just sitting there, and this is going to be the main part we're going to need in order for us to get this punch card Easter egg to work. But it's actually very simple. So it involves you getting this piece, going back up to the war room and into the server room, and there's going to be a broken computer which you can place this new piece into. You're going to see it's going to shut like that, and the next part we need is a pack-a-punched weapon with the kilowatt double pack-a-punch alternate ammo type. It sounds a bit silly, but by having kilowatt you can actually power this machine by just continuously shooting it, and that's going to fill up all these green little lights. The panel's going to shut, and now there's going to be a computer on the opposite side of the room where you can enter punch cards in. Now if you've found any of these punch cards in your game and not wondered how exactly they work, well, now you know, and I'm going to show you all the locations for every single punch card. There's 7 in total on this map. There's going to be 2 in the starting room area, which is going to be here. It's going to be at the back of some filing cabinets in the room with the buildables bench. I've got these all in theater mode, so that's why you're not seeing a lot of like first person gameplay shots. And the second punch card can be found in this main room with the mystery box location, and it's going to be on a typewriter. You can just see the perk machine in the background there, so you know exactly where it is. For the war room and that general area, there are going to be 3 punch cards. The first location is going to be on the top floor of the war room to the left of one of the DEFCON switches on a little rack with a bunch of different reels. You'll see the punch card just lying there. There's going to be one inside of the panic room, which is the old pack-a-punch area, which you get to by turning on all 5 DEFCONs and teleporting in, and it's going to be on this George Washington head. And the third punch card can be found in the server room, and it's going to be in between 2 computers right here. The last 2 punch card locations is going to be one downstairs in the lab, which is going to be in the weapon testing area, and it's going to be on this target right here, which has a knife securing this punch card on. And the final one is going to be in the pack-a-punch area, which is Groom Lake Area 51, and it's just on this box opposite the pack-a-punch machine. If you've ever come across any of these, now you know what they do, and in order to activate them, once you've activated that machine, is go over to this computer in the server room and you can insert the punch cards in, and you get the most incredible storyline information, stuff revolving around what happened to our characters after Moon, just loads and loads of things, including Broken Arrow involving some of the transit characters. It is just incredible story, so I urge you guys to just have this video playing and listen to all of the story and just soak it all in, because it's there and it is freaking amazing. I'm going to make separate videos breaking down this information, and if you want any additional help on Classified, there's guides as well on how to get the Project Scaddy Easter egg complete, the Cold War remedy, link down below in the description, as well as a ton of other videos in a playlist link. So if you need any additional help, it's all there. But I'm going to let you guys to listen and enjoy all of these amazing quotes. But if you enjoyed the video, drop a like rating, let me know in the comment section if this helped you figure out exactly what these punch cards do, and I'll catch you for another video very, very soon.
This is Groom Lake Station Chief Cornelius Purnell. Personal log, March 11, 1961. After being unable to get McElroy or Gates to see the light, I hoped my meeting with McNamara would fare better, but I had no such luck. For years now, DoD have run experiments with their 115 division, but we're the ones with all the supply. I told McNamara we have the Fort Knox of Element 115 right next to our nuclear testing site. If we combined resources and work together instead of simply bartering resources, Groom Lake could receive the funding to properly mine the materials and expand experimentation. But no, McNamara was uninterested. Another Secretary of Defense, another bust for Project Broken Arrow. Personal log, February 23rd, 1963. The construction of the moon teleporter ongoing. A number of scientists from the Pentagon's 115 division have been stationed on site here at Groom Lake. Dr. Schuster, head of the operation, continues to be full of surprises. He's been telling me these stories about an evil little girl named Samantha, that she can control the undead. I asked Colonel Sawyer about it, and he told me to pay it no mind. Apparently everybody's been laughing off Schuster's stories for years now. But then, yesterday, Schuster says he has proof. He claims this Samantha is responsible for several outbreaks over the last 20 years. Rattles off a bunch of names, and one of them was the Rising Sun facility. I lost a good man there, Peter McCain, and never got an explanation for it. I've decided to investigate this further. Personal log, July 29th, 1963. I've spent the last several months combing through archives and conducting extensive research. And I can't believe what I'm about to say, but this is real. This girl, creature, entity, this being possesses a very real and very dangerous power. Fortunately, as of now, her attacks have been contained. But if she were to choose to unleash fury, she could wipe us off the map. And not just the United States, she could destroy everyone. But there is an opportunity here. To combat this threat, the Pentagon is going to need to significantly increase their 115 operation. To support that, they'll need greater access to our gold mine at Groom Lake. Project Broken Arrow is the key to all of this. 2 birds, 1 stone. We'll combat a threat to national security, and I'll secure the funding for my program and its operations. I'm drafting a report on the incident. I plan to present it to McNamara in the coming weeks. Personal log, September 3rd, 1963. The discussion with McNamara was a resounding success. His plans for it are bigger than I ever thought possible. Fools. It was so easy. All those hawks over there think about is war. I offered them a morsel, a nugget, and had the meeting out of the palm of my hand. Yeah, well, good riddance. They'll get their war, and I'll get my riches. They want to destroy this Samantha? It's so terrifying. I destroy her when we can take her power and harness it for ourselves. With the amount of element 115 buried down there, just imagine what we could do. We could mold the earth anew, create it in our image. A toast Here's to Dr. Schuster for gifting me this opportunity. When we get the excavator up and running at the test site, I'll be sure to get him access. And here's to Broken Arrow. And to opening new worlds.
Carpenter!
Broken Arrow. Dream of mine for many years. When I joined the company, you know what I did? What I cut my teeth on? I sent men to their deaths. I was a handler. First for the OSS, then the CIA. I oversaw ops and I sent in men to die. I was a bow. They were my arrows. Smokey, John Banana, and Peter McCain, Tank Dempsey. The list goes on and on. So many men lost. But my ops were good. Job well done. Pats on the back for Purnell. So, I climbed the ladder and eventually became station chief here. And spent much of my time, now that I think about it, in this very room. After we'd mined the element 115, we'd store it in here. I would stare at it for hours. I got lost in it. And then one day, it just clicked. I had to do what Group 935 failed to do. I would build a program to harness its power. I was tired of killing. I wanted to create technological marvels, help humanity, improve the human condition, and who knows, maybe even bring the dead back to life. Repair the broken arrow, if you will. Now, I have the perfect test subject. This is Cornelius Purnell, Report 639, August 3rd, 1963. Earlier today, while Dr. Schuster was performing test number 11, we had an unexpected arrival through the teleporter. We've been unable to verify what year they came from. Our struggle with temporal anomalies during teleportation is well documented, but we are certain of where they came from. The moon. This event alone is baffling enough and is without explanation. But it becomes downright absurd when you take into account that I know 2 of the 4 individuals. Corporal Tank Dempsey of the United States Marine Corps, who I knew personally and was declared KIA after a failed rescue op to recover Peter McCain. And Dr. Edward Richtofen from Group 935, who went missing weeks after we formalized the agreement to initiate Operation Stapler. I didn't recognize the other 2, but they and Corporal Dempsey were in a delusional, near catatonic state. Medical evaluation shows they've suffered from excessive element 115 exposure. And quoting our medic, I'm not even sure how they're still alive. As for Dr. Richtofen, initially we believed him DOA. Upon closer examination, we discovered his body is very much alive, just 0 brain activity. How it came to be that these 4 men were on the moon, we may never know. However, for the immediate future, we'll be keeping them here at Groom Lake. They are ideal candidates for additional 115 testing. This is Cornelius Purnell, Report 715, October 13th, 1963. I'm filing this report on behalf of Private Gordon. Private Gordon was working graveyard in Hangar 4, where our new test subjects are being kept. At 0300 this morning, Private Gordon reports a, quote, bright blue oval-shaped light beam materialized in the room, end quote. Out of said light beam stepped, and I quote, a zombie dressed in a World War II German military uniform. This zombie did not interact with Private Gordon, but instead slowly walked up to the comatose body of Dr. Edward Richtofen, who, up until now, we've been unable to resuscitate. Private Gordon then observed this zombie touching the body of Dr. Richtofen, at which point the zombie turned to ash, and Dr. Richtofen immediately let out a guttural shriek and began cackling. I cannot verify Private Gordon's story, but what I can tell you is that as of this morning, Dr. Richtofen is very much alive, and he is very animated. So much so, we decided to have him sit
Got us a re-up!